是谁在敲打我窗？是谁在撩动琴弦？
Did you ever experience waking up one day, your whole world just collapsed? Did you ever experience losing so much in life, more than you could possibly bear? Did you ever experience being so trapped in the darkness and sorrow that you could hardly eat, sleep, or even breathe? I have been there. An incident that happened in year 2019 has turned my world upside down. Fear, sadness, devastation, and depression had since haunted me, taking away the joy and smile of my life, and taking away hope. It's the second half of 2020. In the month of August, in the southern hemisphere, winter has finally ramped up, with days starting to get a lot shorter and a lot colder. I wonder, with the current global pandemic, or in the tidal wave of life, how many of you out there are losing sight of the sense of wonder? One day, on my way to finding some lights, some answer, and some hope, I came across with this story about a little girl and her secret garden. A little girl had an accident and her eyes were injured. After the surgery, her eyes were covered with thick gauze. The doctor said it would take a month to take off the gauze. The girl asked, "Doctor, will I see anything by then?" The doctor said, "Don't worry, it'll get better." The slow month was really too difficult for a young girl who's naturally active. She was lying on the sick bed, trying to open and close her eyes. It seemed that there was no difference. It was just darkness before her eyes. When all was silent, she was extremely scared and felt that the whole world has just abandoned her. After a few days, a lady moved into the same ward. She often hummed songs and her voice was very touching. The girl liked her singing very much, as if it was a glimmer of light emerging from the dark world. One day, the lady suddenly asked the girl, "Aren't you bored lying down every day? Let me take you out for a walk." The girl asked, "Where are we going?" The lady said, "There's a garden in the backyard. It is spring now. It must be very beautiful. Let's go there." That was the first time the girl ever walked out of the room after the surgery. She held the lady's hand tightly and moved her steps carefully. The warm wind, fresh air, and refreshing fragrance of flowers make the girl immersed in this unexpected world. The lady took her hand while explaining to her what was growing in the garden and how charming and blooming the flowers were. From that day on, the lady took the girl to the garden every day. The girl felt that every day was a new adventure. She couldn't wait for the gauze to be taken off and see this brand new world with her own eyes. A month has passed quickly. On the day the gauze was removed, the girl's parents came back from overseas to pick her up. The doctor didn't lie to her. Her vision recovered as before. In the first place, she thought of the garden and the lady who accompanied her. She rushed to the garden, where she and the lady promised that they would meet. The girl couldn't help thinking she'd really like the lady to take beautiful photos for her. But when she saw the lady, the girl was shocked. The lady had no brightness in her eyes. She was clearly blind. The girl held the lady's hand and did not know what to say at that time. She asked, "Will your eyes be okay?" The lady said, "Maybe, maybe not. As long as your heart is bright, the world is glorious." If you look the right way, you can see that the whole world is a garden. Francis Hodgson Burnett. In fact, there should be a secret garden in each of our mind. It could be a word, the way someone phrases what you could never put words to. A memory, something you see in the sky, in the street, in someone's eyes. And just that one thing, in that moment, can spark change in your heart. We'll always meet a moment, a person patting us on the shoulder, firmly told us, "Stand up straight, don't get down. The world won't collapse, everything will survive." That person may be the driving force of fate, or it may be your inner strength. When you meet this moment, please don't ignore this courage. Turn it into wings and fly to the wider sky. And the secret garden bloomed and bloomed, and every morning revealed new miracles.